You have this conception of me that I'm aware of what I'm doing at any moment in time.
You know.
There's a reason that PC is still unbuilt.
Well, welcome to the podcast where we talk about anything and everything that comes out of the crapshoot. I'm your host, JD. This is my co-host,
Technical difficulties.
James. I call him James. Everyone else calls him Jimmy. It just works like that.
It's a little bit weird. So it shows Discord. I don't know how to tell if it's running.
On Task Manager?
Yeah, on Task Manager. Where does it say running?
Well, when you open up Task Manager, what does it look like? It just says you in tab processes. You're in the processes tab.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, look at the list. Is Discord one of the things on the list?
Yeah, it's yellow.
Okay, click on that.
Okay.
And click End Task in the bottom right.
All right.
And now, did it disappear?
Yeah.
Okay, now try opening up Discord again.
So Jay, I'm gonna let you know I've done this part already a couple of times now.
Okay. It's yellow, you said.
Yeah, I said it's yellow because originally it was white when I first looked at Discord.
Yeah.
And then it stopped being white just then. So I don't know. Man. I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out.
I mean, there might be multiple Discords open in Task Manager.
It does say 5 in parentheses after 32-bit.
No, I mean, like, it might be listed again. Like, you scroll down the list, there might be more. Anyway, though, well, James, that's the reason why James sounds so terrible right now. Is because
no, I'm just seeing your name on here a lot. JD, are you?
Yeah, I'm currently DDoSing you right now. I've hacked into the system. Anyway, though,
no.
That's why James sounds so bad. He's on his phone right now, so he's all like, "Oh, I could do it right now," and then he can't.
Can I launch Discord off my Xbox?
I don't think so. No, I don't know. Actually, I haven't touched my Xbox in a while. I don't know how they work. I don't know how these prehistoric, like gigantic boxes work. I know they're just full of rocks.
I know there's Five Nights at Freddy's fan games on here. And I say
on
fan
Xbox?
games very loosely.
That's news to me. That's cool.
No, there isn't. But they do have Mixer, everyone's favorite streaming platform.
I thought that was dead. I thought Mixer died. Didn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's. Why is the app still there?
I was just making a joke, Jay. I was just doing a bit. I was just doing a joke. I was just trying to be a funny guy, and you're like, no. You're doing the Nick Fuentes, no.
Anyway, James, you have anything huge you want to talk about before I dive into to today's dangerousnesses?
Not really. I mean, I might be getting a job next week that'll occupy me, so I won't be streaming anymore.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Do you like streaming so much?
I do, actually.
Very nice.
And it's the job at the place I don't like.
Oh, and you take all these paths, and where did that lead you? Right back to it.
Yeah, I had a nice year. I had a bit of sanity for a moment. Now you guys are going to get deranged, James.
Finally, I get to hear all about your escapades at work.
Content. I'm going to be working as a chauffeur for our boss at first because he has an injury, and then from there I'll be getting a new position.
Oh, you're a chauffeur, huh?
Yeah, he hurt his leg and he refuses to get proper treatment for it, so I've got to drive him around while he lets it rest.
Okay.
Which sucks because I've driven him around before and I hate that.
What?
Because,
I thought you love driving people around, like me. Like, I've been in your car a bunch.
Yeah, but you're quiet and you don't like make a lot of commotion.
Well, that's because every time I raise my hands and clap and then slowly lower them back into my lap, we just go quiet for like another 3 minutes.
Forgot about the clap.
Yeah, I clap and then we both just go silent. No more talking.
Yeah, it's just he's not quiet by any means of the word, and is very like makes you aware he's there kind of thing.
Hell yeah.
And so it's going to be me having to deal with that.
That sounds nice.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into some dangerousness then. I don't think you've heard of this because you're not in the space, but there's some big things happening in the VTubing space right now.
Oh, what's going on? I've heard some things about like VTubing, so I might be a little bit aware.
Yes. Yeah, I'm in the space because, well, you know, I kind of started like way in the early days of the channel. I got into it.
Yeah, you used to have an actual VTuber model before you did the.
Yeah, I did. I made like a really scuffed VTuber model, like 3 minutes.
But it was so good. I still never made mine because I didn't know how to do the program. I didn't understand it. Why don't we just use our PNGs?
So James, let me explain to you. There's two big. Do you know what a VTuber agency is? I already know you know what a VTuber is. So.
I've heard about the agencies and some drama involving them before.
Yes.
So
well, there's been some drama with them before. Always some kind of drama.
But not this time, quite like this.
This time we're talking about Nijisanji, one of the two big companies that usually people know about when it comes to VTubing. The other one is Hololive, and that's actually the one I watch most of the time.
That's one I know of.
Yeah, that's the one I watch most of the time. I'm not a big Nijisanji viewer. I do know who they are, but anyway. So Nijisanji, apparently what happened was one of their talents was terminated. Like a couple weeks ago, maybe. So sometime ago.
They passed away.
Pretty recently. And everyone got pretty angry about that, but it wasn't just because they were terminated. It was because this talent apparently suffered, or apparently was like bullied and harassed while they were in the company, Nijisanji, while they were in the company, and it led to attempts at neck rope. You get what I'm saying, James? Yeah. So apparently, yeah, the bullying and harassment was so bad that this talent hurt herself, and then they fired her while she was like in the hospital. So anyway, she's not affiliated with them anymore. And then she sent them, I think she sent them a lawsuit for like the bullying and harassment, and that was intended to be private. But the drama is that the lawsuit was brought up by Nijisanji. Like they're the ones who like basically took it and like publicized it. Made a statement like, okay, this particular talent has sued us, and now we're addressing it. Wow, that's pretty scummy. Jesus. That is pretty scummy. and that it's even more scummy because the talent was the victims of the situation we caused. Yes. Well, it was more scummy because I'm pretty sure the talent herself didn't or said it to keep it private, just between the legal teams. And then they didn't. So, there we go. And so the drama is that there's a couple of other names in the lawsuit of other talents. And then Nijisanji, like, also when they publicized the fact that they received the document and some details about it, they also made some of, I think they made, well, there was a couple of other livers that were named in the lawsuit made a response video to that document. Yeah. So it's just a huge mess. And I'm not like too familiar with all of the livers. I think the main one, the one that was fired, was named. You know them all by name. You have them tattooed on you, dude. Don't lie. Yeah, don't be but it's tattooed on my forehead, and I don't look in the mirror that often, so I don't remember the names. You look at yourself in the mirror and you go with my 20-minute memory span. I can't remember too well. The one that was fired was named Selene. Yeah, I think Selene was the one that was fired. And then there was a bunch of other people in this like response video that I think Nijisanji put out. Here's the thing: we don't really know too much going on behind the scenes, because the only thing we know is that they publicized a legal document that they weren't supposed to, and also that Selene was bullied and harassed into almost almost it. I don't think well, I mean, I guess I could say it since we're not monetized, but I'm gonna avoid from saying it.
I get what you're trying to do though. You're trying to do like the whole censorship. You're trying to say into unaliving.
Well, I'm trying to be family friendly. So anyway.
Yeah, you're trying to say unaliving. You're trying to say
when she fell into
you're
trying to keep herself from falling into a ravine in Minecraft. I think it happened twice actually. There were 2 of those. So anyway, yes, that happened. But I do believe her. So there is that. I am on her side. It doesn't sound too great to me.
Well, and, JD, number 1 fan.
Number 1 fan. I don't watch her, but I do know her.
You literally
They're pretty big. They're pretty big. They're like a
subscriber.
Anyway, yeah. So that's what's been happening. A couple of follow-ups. I think she expressed how disappointed she was when Nijisanji decided to publicize this document.
Understandable.
And, okay, so what happened is like she sent the document to them, only intending for it to be between her lawyers and Nijisanji's lawyers. Both these lawyers. And I think what Nijisanji did was they leaked the documents to their own talents that they had that were named in the document, that had names included in the document. And then those livers made a response video based on the documents that were leaked to them by Nijisanji. And I don't think she accused the other talents themselves of the harassment. I think it was like she experienced bullying and harassment because of mismanagement.
Right.
So, yeah, that's what it was. And I think the names in the we don't know what the names in the document are referring to, like whether or not they're just included in certain harassment incidents, or if they were the cause of the harassment themselves. We don't know that, but so I'm not gonna like speculate about it. But some of the drama is like people are angry. People are angry at Nijisanji. People are angry at the livers for making a response video.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it, actually. And also Nijisanji stocks like went way down. So that there's that. Yeah, they're calling it that the company's going to implode. They're saying that Nijisanji is going to implode. I don't know if it actually will, because it's a pretty big company, like multi-million. I mean, big.
I don't know. This can really kill a company sometimes, in situations. Well, here's the thing.
In these kinds of companies, like their business model is like based off their talents, and their talents' fan bases. Like these, but that's basically like, the company.
If the fan base of talents learn that this is how the company like treats the talent, they'll kind of like stand in the company, even if it's like they care about the talent. They'll
because that's what for specifically this company is like worried about, right? Because that's kind of what a talent agency is like. That's their model. They're meant to be like fostering talents, so
not bullying them into
Roblox oof sound. So
not bullying them into game over.
Yeah. So anyway, not many people happy with that.
Understandable.
It's just what's happening. Yeah. All of the stuff is it sounds like there's a lot of personal information in that in those legal documents too. I'm guessing that's also part of the reason why Selene didn't want it to be public. So they made it public. I think a couple of other people cover it much better than I will here, since they're more informed about it.
No, we did a spot on
It was just a summary, scenes, basically.
Pure, just info and facts. No bits.
No bits. No flibs. No fibs. No
doing your mom.
No japery.
No japery. Japery.
Yeah,
content.
Glad she's doing okay. She seems to be doing okay now since she went indie. So now she's just on her own. But her channel I think has like over 500k subs right now, despite being pretty new.
What's her name again?
It's Doki Bird now, I think. Doki Bird, all one word. One word, no capital B in Bird.
That's actually something I was curious about. are they allowed to keep like their because I know that they're a talent agency, but they kind of like the talent is
The
like
answer is it depends, I
yeah.
think. It
So
depends.
you already knew what I was about to ask, huh?
Yes. So you're asking whether or not they get to keep like the persona, the
character,
VTubing model
yeah.
itself.
Even if they made it themselves because they sign up with them, it could be
That's what it depends on. I know a couple of different VTubing agencies that will let you keep your model if you decide to leave the agency. And in that scenario, it's because you already have like your own model beforehand. And then when you join an agency, you basically just use that persona to join the agency, but it was yours beforehand. So therefore, if you leave, you get to keep it because it was never the agency's property in the first place. The personas are considered property, like the art itself and the model itself. But if you join an agency and then they make a model for you, that's technically their property. So when you leave the agency, they get to keep it and do whatever they want with it. So
yeah, I was about to say, I wonder what they do with that. So like the model.
I think generally they just delete it. They just get rid of it. That's been historically what they do with talents that have graduated. That is the actual term they use, graduated instead of.
I hate that. If I'm being honest, if I'm being honest, hate it.
Why? Why do you hate it? What's wrong with it?
Wow, I hate that.
Well, you rather
it's
just
so bland. It's so bullshit brandy.
What? Come on, they would never do that. Come on.
Yeah, man. They're just a fun-loving company who.
It's called graduation. When you get either fired or you leave the company on your own terms, you graduate.
When you get fired.
Well, actually, no. I think graduation only applies when you leave the company on your own term. If you were fired, then you're just terminated. Yeah. So anyway,
you were fired from this school.
Yeah, I know a couple of different VTuber agencies. I think I mostly just watch the Hololive Japanese side of things, of talents. And then I do watch I watch clips of English VTubers, but generally they act a lot different.
You're a big fan of the shark one?
I don't actually watch I don't watch any of the big named or VTubers affiliated with the big companies on the English side. They have like separate branches in these companies. Like there's Nijisanji Original, which is all Japanese, and there's Nijisanji on the English side, Nijisanji EN. And same with Hololive.
Yes.
I do sometimes watch Hololive EN's talents though. They're pretty cool. Yeah. Well, the difference is that Nijisanji is more like a streamer a talent agency for like streamer type of VTubers, where they kind of just do whatever, play games and do their own thing. Hololive is more like a idol company. Do you know what idols are?
Yeah, I know what idols are.
Like in the Japanese sense.
Yeah, we're idols.
Yeah, I mean, well, basically,
we make music. We're gonna start making music pretty soon. We're gonna have our little characters dancing.
Right. It's basically like it's basically just VTubers that focus more on wholesomeness. You have to be family friendly. You make songs if you want to. I guess some of them don't actually do that. You can make songs. You can dance.
I see idols usually referred to in that sort of way sometimes, so I just assume it's always song related.
Yeah, do concerts and stuff. They do that. So that's the kind of whole like idol side.
Yeah, American Idol. I'm aware.
You have to be prim and proper. That's basically what it is.
Simon Cowell's an idol.
Debatably, yeah.
I mean, he was a host of American Idol. I'd assume that makes him an idol by association.
Just because you host idols doesn't mean you're an idol yourself. I mean, the CEO of Hololive is not an idol. I wouldn't consider him an idol.
One Direction were American Idols.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess you're right.
No, they were British Idols. Never mind.
Oh, One Direction is British?
Yeah, I forgot. They came from Britain's Got Talent, not America's Got Talent.
Oh, you're confusing them with Big Rush. Is that what the name was? Oh, God, I forgot what that show was.
That's the name of our idol band, Big Rush.
Big Rush. It was something Rush, I swear. I don't remember what it was.
It's Big Rush, and
it's Big Time Rush. Big Time Rush. That's what it was.
Yeah, it's gonna be our PNG tubers with like realistic hands holding the big red soda, but it says Rush on it.
Yeah. So anyway, lawsuits, dude. The legal like the legal cloud surrounding Japan is like super weird to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the situation though, a couple more things. So basically, she's suing Nijisanji, but Nijisanji is a Japanese company. So like it's like an international lawsuit. It's kind of weird. I'm pretty sure Doki Bird is based somewhere in North America. Anyway, so yeah, there's just a lot of weird legal things. There was a lawyer that had like a 6-7 hour stream talking about the legal document itself that Nijisanji leaked ish, and how bad of an idea it was.
Yeah.
How many legal faults that Nijisanji just made.
Exactly. When you told me about that, and you told me that the VTubers are making content on it, I was like, oh, I was going to make a joke like,
well, content being like
how we broke our legal the legal system.
Mm-hmm. Now we can, now that I've recapped the whole situation, Summer, we can get into a little bit of speculation now.
Yeah.
None of the things that we're about to say are confirmed, unless I say that they're confirmed.
They are.
Okay.
None of the words I ever say should be taken as serious as everything I'm doing.
Read the title of the podcast. There you go. That's all you need to know.
Read the name.
Read
the name and realize we don't know how to spell crapshoot.
So
and understand exactly what we're about to say is not serious with any meaning.
So, the response video that the other livers made was made on the account of one of the livers. The livers in synonym with talent. That's what the talent are called livers. So
right, it's getting me every time that you say it because I'm thinking like prison terminology, lifers and stuff.
Oh no, it's livers with a V.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm illiterate.
Yeah. So liver. One of the talents made like they made like a 15-minute response video on one of they streamed it too, I think I caught it. I caught that stream, by the way, right when it started, because it was on my recommendation feed. It was just a black screen. That was basically all of the video. I saw that on my home screen. I saw it on my home screen. I knew the drama was going on right now, and there was like the title was like response, or like Nijisanji's response to the Selen like incident or something, and I was like, oh my god, this is happening right now. So I click on it, I watch it. I got in there like in the first minute, I think. It was like crazy timing. And it was basically just 15 minutes of well, most of the comments saying it's just 15 minutes of shitting on Selen and saying that it's her fault for this thing that's happening.
Yeah, victim blaming,
which is always the worst. I don't think that's a great path to take, especially when the thing that you're being accused of.
Bullying a person, so what you do in return is harass and bully them more.
You're accused of harassing and bullying this person, and then what you do is you harass and bully this person. But anyway,
on video this time.
Yeah, but anyway, so they try to show a bunch of receipts, like, oh, she's like lying about this certain thing, and we tried working with her, but it didn't work out. I think it's a little harder to take that truthful, to think it's true when you're already being
all this evidence of them doing this, when
you're already being presumed to be the harasser and bullier. So, take with that what you will. They tried doing it. I think there was like 3-4-ish people talking about it, and they each of them kind of addressed like their own. They kind of addressed like their own inclusion in the document. I think all of them were named in the document somewhere. And one of them came out and they were like, man, and one of them was saying like, man, it's so, I feel betrayed because Selen like secretly recorded me in a meeting with a manager or something.
I feel so betrayed that the person I was harassing and bullying secretly recorded me. How dare they? How dare they get this evidence?
So I think that was one of the things that was said. And the entire time the chat, I saw the chat, they were just spamming like L. Funniest thing I've seen. So I think the incidents that led up to this point were this. So basically, Selen, I think over the course of her employment at Nijisanji, basically I think she wanted to do a bunch of like different projects of her own, like personal projects for for herself, of which included like a music video, right? And I think she said that
I called it. So what you're saying is I called it.
She said that she spent about like 200K in like money for projects that Nijisanji was supposed to like help her with, I guess. Like the management was supposed to help her out with creating these projects and stuff, and they just didn't. So she spent money out of her own pocket to create this, to create a bunch of projects. The most recent one being a music video that she made. And so she made this music video. She sent it to like her manager, I think, to kind of double check to make sure it's okay to post. I think whenever you post something like a project like that, you have to, or I guess whenever you have to stream anything, you have to get like the okay from management,
right,
in order to do it. So just so it doesn't like violate any of the rules. I don't know what those rules could be, but maybe something like, it can't include like horrendously graphic things or be like hateful or something. That's probably what I assume the rules to be.
Not the rules of the company, though.
Yeah. So she sent this music video. I think the music video itself isn't like terrible, but I think it infringed on one of the company's policies of like don't include previous livers that are no longer affiliated with the company or something.
Include one of their policies, don't act dumb.
Include one of their policies, one man alone. So anyway.
Just start running through all the bits, huh?
Yeah. So she sent it to management, and then I think it takes like a couple days for them to get back to her. And then she posts the music video anyway. And then management steps in and they take it down like immediately.
Right.
Yeah, and then that was pretty bad for her mentally, I think. And so some events happen. She ends up in the hospital, and while she's in the hospital, management is deciding like should we terminate her because she violated like a rule by uploading this music video that she made, that she paid for. So yeah, that's what kickstarted this thing. And I think there were some other incidents that were probably listed by her that I didn't see or happened, like other incidents of unfairness, unfair treatment, some bullying, harassment. I don't think we know exactly what the incidents are because it's listed in the document and they didn't release like the full document. They just said they got a document, and then they had a couple of different like events in the document they like set out, but not all of it. Anyway, yeah, that's what happened before the termination. I think that's what led up to the termination. Anyway, at least that's what I got from the video. So anyway, Nijisanji and Ian imploding right now. Very cool. Very nice.
And on top of this, what we're going to be announcing is our crapshoot core.
Crapshoot
we're going to be doing a core.
We only include the most degenerate VTubers possible.
We're getting Verbalise. We're bringing 2 Mad back from the dead.
2 Men rises out of his grave in order to join us.
2 Mad rises from the grave.
Is that our next topic, 2 Mad? Hold on a second. Let me talk back to the Japanese legal system thing. What was crazy to me, I don't think this is a defamation case, but what's crazy is that defamation cases, okay, well, first, defamation cases in America, from what I understand, from like the Johnny Depp trial that I saw a while ago.
The only time you've ever experienced defamation.
Yeah, the only time I've seen legal system in action.
Was one of the most botched ones ever done.
So you have to, for a defamation case, if you're accusing someone of defamation and you bring them to court,
yeah,
I think you have to prove that their statements are false, that the statements caused you some sort of damage, whether it's like financial or something else. I think it might be just financial damage, but anyway, some kind of damage caused by the statements. And then you have to prove that the statements were made with malicious intent. I think those were the 3 things that you need to prove in court to win a defamation case. But in Japan, In Japan, all you need to prove is that the statements were made with malicious intent, and then you win the defamation case, which is crazy to me because so technically you could say something completely true.
Yeah, you could falsify.
You can make it something completely true. They could suffer no damages from it, but if they prove that you made it with malicious intent in court, which I think isn't that tough because it's kind of just subjective, you just lose. You lose the case.
God, Japan sucks. I'm sorry.
That was wild to me, first of all.
Holy
so
shit.
Anyway, so with that kind of like legal system in place, like I thought America's legal system was terrible, but man, that sounded insane to me. That sounded like made up.
Japan's legal system, when you think America's is already worse.
America's is already bad, and you get something even worse. But anyway, so that's the kind of like legal system that to deal with if you sue something in Japan. Like, my God, good luck with that. Really, especially if you're suing like a bigger company too, multi-million-dollar company.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if it's like a lawsuit. I don't think they're going to take it to court. It's just like at best it's like a legal complaint. I'm pretty sure I heard somewhere that she sent it in because as like proof of like avoiding certain penalties occurred from termination or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually if you get like fired from somewhere, there's like a clause where you have to like pay out some money to the company or whatever if you get fired. So yeah, I think it was like a legal thing of waiving those penalties. That's just my guess. I don't know, but that's probably what I think it is. So anyway, that situation's pretty much been cleaned up, I think. I think there was a couple of streamers who were siding on the livers on Nijisanji's side, and they got a lot of flack for that. So,
gee, I can't imagine why anybody would give shit to the people defending the abusers. It's so bizarre to me, man. Why would anybody ever? That's just how mafia works, James. They're the good guys.
That's just how mafia works. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying like, oh, you know, if you were a liver affiliated with Nijisanji and you have like a stake in this case, if you wanted to support someone, you could have just quit your job, you know, just like leave the job.
Absolutely.
I know for some of them that's probably the case. I know that's I think one person, maybe a few people have already like stated that they're going to graduate, like they're on their graduation road now.
Crazy.
And I know for some of them that might be a little more difficult because some of them work in Japan, like they're in Japan on a work visa. Mm-hmm. So if they just suddenly quit their job, I don't know how it works in Japan if you just get stranded, but I don't know.
You actually get squid gamed.
Yeah, you just get squid gamed. You get put in a van, knocked out, and then dragged to some island, Japanese offshoot island, and then and then you play a death game.
Mm-hmm.
Where the prize isn't money and it's just survival.
The prize is the friends you made along the way that you had to kill because of these games.
The prize is the friends that you killed along the way.
Yep. There it is. That's the better one.
Yeah, so sometimes it's I don't think it's as simple as just quit the job. Unless it is for you. But, you know, generally you don't support stuff like that. Obviously, I don't support harassment, bullying. I don't think that's you're pulling what I do now whenever you start saying stuff. Where I just chime in like, hey, yeah, you do. I don't think that's such a hot take. And I'm not going to stand on the side of the multi-million-dollar company. I think they can stand on their own feet. So I'm just going to... Anyway.
I don't know. It seems like they're doing a lot of work to punch down at VTubers.
That's the whole thing, man. I mean, if you could punch down VTubers, like, wouldn't you? Boom. There you go. Statement. It's over. That's it. There is no argument against it.
You just made noises. You can punch it. You would. You're right.
I would have to watch that. I have to watch that lawyer break down the documents. after this
It
podcast.
would be so funny for a legal eagle to fucking like actually take this case.
What's crazy is that these guys like definitely don't look like they watch VTubers, but they're like, but then they're spouting terms at me about VTubers that I didn't even know about. It's like, my God, nerds, all of them.
Nerd, you say as you watch VTubers.
Yeah. In other news, Too-Mad died. That is, I learned about that like 2 days ago.
That was so unceremonious. That was the worst. The worst.
I think I could get away with that because Too-Mad is, well, he's what, accused of not being the greatest guy out there, but it turns out he died. Like he actually he's not alive anymore.
Like there's no joke. He's just actually dead.
No joke. He's actually dead. Mm-hmm. It is a very Too-Mad kind of joke to say, like, to pretend like he died and jape about it.
Yeah.
But he's deceased.
It's also
he's gone.
The way and he died doesn't feel real. It feels like it's a bit, you know.
So I don't know exactly the way he died. Did he just they just find him in his apartment or?
Yeah. So according to his Discord, he was playing Overwatch 2 and died while playing it.
He died while playing Overwatch 2?
Was dead in his apartment for at least 5 days before being found.
Okay. Yeah. And he was found on Valentine's Day, I think.
Yes.
Valentine's Day was when I learned that he died. And he died at 23.
Yeah.
He was 23 years old.
Matt was 23? I thought the dude was in his 30s.
I thought he was older, too. I thought he was like late 20s, maybe. Like at least mid 20s. But he was 23.
I swear to God, I remember like years ago, I saw a video of him at like a thing. Sorry, my brain broke for a second.
The only thing I knew about Too-Mad, I didn't watch Too-Mad, but I knew I knew about him. He showed up in a Super Mega video. I know that, and also I know him from doing the prank Zoom calls, where he would just like hop into different Zoom calls and like mess with them.
I know him from like him being like in a like sort of gaming scene in general, but from what I remember him specifically was that he showed up in a Russian Badger video when they went to the Rainbow Six Siege international like not convention but like show. And I remember just Too-Mad showing up. I'm like, oh shit, that's who Too-Mad is? Because like I always hear them talking about him and I've always heard about him. I'd never seen him before.
It's like one of those guys that everyone always talks about, but you don't know who he looks like or what he does. It's like, oh man, I wish Too-Mad was here. It's like, who's Too-Mad? But
who the fuck is this guy Too-Mad?
Yeah, so apparently years ago when he was doing all those prank calls, he was like a teenager. He was like super young. And he looked like he was in his mid-20s back then.
He was me.
I don't know if it was like a filter or special effect that he put on himself, but he looked like way older. Anyway. It's always a tragedy to have someone die. Like I don't think anyone deserves to die unless they did the super horrendous things. I mean, if all the things that he was accused of doing were true, then maybe. But I don't get to make that decision, and I don't want to make that decision. So
I think we can all agree that people like Hitler deserve it.
Yeah, like Hitler. I don't think Too-Mad's as bad as Hitler, but I don't think he's a great guy either.
I want to make that clear. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, when you were like, I don't think anyone deserves to die, I was like, well,
I mean, I meant I don't get to decide whether or not someone gets to die. So there you go.
You get to decide, JD. God chose you.
Well, I mean, I could decide, but then I would get horrendously punished by our legal system for it. So that's make with it what you will do.
Not unless you are above the legal system.
I'm not, so I will be
president of the United States.
It just become Bane from Payday 2.
Admit martial law.
So yeah, Too-Mad. He's found his apartment. I don't know. Did they say the cause of his death?
I saw some people supposing drug overdose, but also when I saw people supposing that, it was within like a racist comment section. So I'm just assuming they saw a dead black person and assumed. I don't know if that is the case.
It might be because of that, because I know Too-Mad is also accused of being like a druggie, like taking a bunch of drugs. So I thought it might be drug overdose.
I'm just not going to make any assumptions because again, when I found that, it was within a racist comment section. So I was like, I'm not going to take that.
I mean, I don't think the details of his death has been released yet. He is listed as dead on like if you search up like coroner reports or something on
God, that
LA
was so
coroner
surreal
reports.
to see. Yeah.
His name pops up there. So wow.
That was actually like a bit like kind of like eye-opening for a moment, because it was like, oh wow, this is like kind of real for a moment. Like when I Googled Tumad and it just said like straight up said dead and also 23.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the first time that someone I knew, or I guess I thought, or someone that I know of, had died.
Someone I thought I knew.
But you know, it's never a great feeling.
No.
But now we can get into accusations, right? So apparently, Tumad had a roommate, and I think he was also a content creator. I don't remember his name. I just know he had a roommate, and this roommate accused Tumad of a bunch of heinous things after he learned that Tumad died. So apparently Tumad was both like a drug addict, and he would like take drugs and then go out and drive like everywhere trying to like get people killed or something.
Jesus.
Was unsuccessful, and then he did it again. And then it was also unsuccessful again. So kind of like reckless behavior, dangerously reckless behavior, purposely like trying to get people killed, I guess. He's a pedophile?
Yeah, supposed.
He's a rapist?
Yeah.
Not with the J, it's not a japist. He was a rapist.
Nope.
I don't know the exact details of what caused those accusations, but those are pretty serious.
I'm aware of the pedophile one because that was when I found out that he was controversial. Is when I heard about that one. I'm like, really? Tumad?
I think I remember vaguely what that was. I wasn't too in the loop on that one. He just he had like a really underage girlfriend or something? Is that what that was?
He at first made a joke about it.
Okay. He joked about it, and then someone found out that he was not japing around?
Yeah, so at first it was said that he was doing a thing called schizo posting, which I've heard
Which you do all the time. I know that, James.
But I guess it's not the same exact way. But yeah, he was doing this thing called schizo posting, which is not your schizophrenic and posting stuff, just like you're posting just like insane shit out of nowhere. And so he was doing that in his Discord for his channel and everything. And he had put up like a picture of a underage like character or something. I can't remember exactly. And then it was like, they were so fucking hot there. My girlfriend we were like, dude, man, that's like a 14-year-old. And he's like, I don't give a shit. Real Andrew Tate.
Those kinds of jokes are really, you have to like really nail them. Otherwise, it's gonna be really sus.
You have to really nail it. I mean,
you'd have to be on top of your jape game if you wanted to make those kinds of jokes.
Don't say jape game. But yeah, so it was after that he continued to say that a lot more, and it kind of became less of a joke over time. I believe he had a 17-year-old girlfriend while he was like 20 or something.
I see. Yeah. That would technically be it. Yeah.
He really called me Carson bit.
Pulled a little call me Carson. So
sorry.
Yeah, but now Tumad is no longer with us.
Such an insane sentence.
Yeah, weird to see like he was a pretty popular YouTuber too. Weird to see such a young popular YouTuber just gone like that, just all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So,
again,
there you go.
The age is what I feel like is the most alarming thing to me about it. Is that it's like I keep going.
It's because it hits you on a personal level because you're the same age, right, as Tumad?
Yeah, because again, we talked about this, and we were talking the other day, and at some point I realized I'm 23, and like it didn't click for me because it's this thing. I turn the age I am at the end of the year because I was born in December.
Like imagine you just dying sometime this year.
Okay, man, calm down.
That's it. No, I'm just saying imagine it. Like imagine it.
Oh, hey now, I'm just saying imagine. Imagine.
I'm just saying keep it in the back of your mind.
No, but it was a thing that like kind of like actually clicked in my head after I heard how old he was. I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm literally the same age as this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the same age as him, but he's pretty close to me. Not personally though.
No,
Anyway,
you guys were good friends. You tell me about that very
good
often.
friends is
You
quite an
tell me how he
overstatement
would
about
say
it.
so close to you in confidence, and you'd say, "Yeah, man, me too."
No, I don't think I did
Does
that.
it feel to be
It's
on the
just
other side of the gun for once?
well, I've been used to being on this side of the gun for a long time, and I just pray every day that they pull the trigger, but they don't. They just leave it suspenseful, up to fate. Anyway, anything you want to just throw in there, James, before I move on?
Helldivers 2 came out.
Yes, it did. And guess who has Helldivers 2 and is going to stream it?
You?
Me.
Nice.
I saw some gameplay of it. Some videos are like, why you should play Helldivers 2. And then this dude shows a bunch of gameplay of it. I'm like, man, that looks really cool. That looks really nice. And it's a co-op shooter. I'm a big fan of co-op shooters, obviously, since Payday is my favorite, game franchise, and it's a co-op shooter. So
yeah, man, I'm so glad there's a game for us two to play together.
Yeah.
It's only available on PlayStation and PC, and I know my PC can't handle it.
Well, that's just because Xbox is. Well, I think there's some news from Xbox. Or it's just a rumor from Xbox. I can mention it later. But anyway, yeah, Helldivers 2. I've got it. I'm ready. It's installed. I'm ready to play it. I want to start it up on stream. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be great. Yeah, I'm ready for it. Let's get a little more dangerous then, if that's all you have to say. Let's get a little more dangerous.
I was going to say Helldivers 2. I didn't actually know what it was at first when it got announced back in long fucking ago.
It had a unique trailer compared to the rest of the game trailers.
It was it reminded me of Starship Troopers, and then more recently when I remembered it, it reminds me of Earth Defense Force, JD.
Earth Defense Force.
Have you ever played that?
I don't know what it is. No.
You don't? Wait, bullshit. You don't know what Earth Defense Force is. I don't want to believe that. I feel like of anybody, you would know it.
I don't think it sounds like a super generic name. I don't remember. Can you just describe to me what it is? Like what it's like?
Okay, so I'm gonna let you know this entire podcast I've been playing it.
I saw some clips of you playing it actually, and I didn't recognize it from your gameplay.
Okay, so it's a game where basically these giant alien insects are invading Earth, and you are the Earth Defense Force, aka Japan's version of NATO.
Yeah.
Even though technically it is stationed out of the U.S., it is Japan's NATO. Because you were playing, I think, the Japan's division of the Earth Defense Force.
Is it Japan stationed U.S. based NATO?
Yeah, we are majorly based in the U.S. This is Japan.
So you've been playing this?
I've been playing this. It is a very addictive arcade shooter game where you can play as 4 different classes: Ranger, Wing Diver, Air Raider, and Fencer.
Yeah, I don't know what this is. I saw you playing this game. I have never seen this game.
You've never seen this, really?
I've never seen anyone mention it either.
I really thought like you would know this. I was literally gonna propose to you, like, hey, let's
play EDF.
Yeah, dude, it's so fun. It's genuinely so fun to play.
Earth Defense Force. This looks like a really old game.
I'm playing the 2014 version in my streams.
Yeah.
There are newer versions and whatnot. I don't like not the newest, but they made another new one, and I don't like it because it doesn't feel like the other games, in my opinion.
Okay. Earth Defense Force 6. There are 6 different games of this?
Technically, because then there's also like the different weird ones, like the 2025, the 2017.
Oh, I see.
There's like some offshoot ones that are like kind of like mini versions of the bigger games.
I see. And which one are you playing? You're playing Earth Defense Force 5?
2025.
2025. I see.
So whenever that one is, I don't know.
Oh my god, so we're gonna get invaded by aliens next year?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was literally playing this in my chats like, oh my god, we get invaded by aliens before we get GTA 6.
No, it's gonna delay the game. I gotta join the force.
Yeah,
gotta kill these things before.
Fight it off. Yeah. I've been addicted to this game. I've always wanted to play it. I didn't know it was available on Xbox because I did know that like a lot of them are PlayStation exclusive as well. Again, another PlayStation exclusive.
Again, another PlayStation dub. Take the L, Xbox.
Sorry, but PlayStation 3 has no games, so I'm sorry.
Yeah,
What
for
dub?
all of you
What dub are
PlayStation
they
3
taking?
havers out there, get fucked.
Me. Literally me.
Me.
PlayStation 3 ruled. I did not like a PlayStation 4 or 5. I think they're ugly, horrible consoles.
I thought PlayStation 3 was awful.
I don't agree. I think PlayStation 3 was
Like
actually really
I
good.
played on it, and the input lag from the controllers to the PlayStation 3 it's almost unplayable. Like it's like a full second. I have no idea how anyone played games on the PlayStation 3. Like I played Black Ops Zombies offline on PlayStation 3. The console, like you would click,
nobody played multiplayer games.
you
on
would click like the
3.
shoot button, and then like and then like a full second later, your gun would shoot on the screen. It was insane how this console could work.
Everybody played fucking Army of Two and whatnot on PlayStation 3. Nobody played multiplayer games on this.
I didn't play multiplayer. I played zombies. It was local zombies.
Exactly. Local, even worse.
Anyway, it was just insane.
Yeah. But Helldivers 2.
It reminds you of that?
It reminds me of Earth Defense Force mixed with Starship Troopers.
Mm-hmm.
Starship Troopers very especially because of, like the way that they do the commercial, the like in-game like ad to join the Helldivers.
Yeah.
It is so Starship Troopers.
It's very, I really like the trailer that they made for it. Because instead of just being like the generic game trailer where they post a bunch of like in-game cinematic footage, CGI cinematic footage, and then put like a theatrical music theme over it. They just run a propaganda. They just run a propaganda campaign where they're like, join the Helldivers today and spread freedom. Freedom across the galaxy.
The animation on the face was both really good and also bad. If you understand with like what I mean when I say that.
Mm-hmm.
Because like when watching, it's like, wow, they're getting like a lot of the like movement and the motions right that nobody usually gets. Yeah. But also they are like,
but it still looks jank.
There's too much in some area and like not enough eyebrow movement.
I love it. Yeah. I love the jank. It's great.
It's like watching characters talk in Starfield. Like everything above the eyes does not move.
I love the jank. It's great. They should have it more.
Dude, I saw a video. It was like one of those the least chaotic moment in Helldivers moment.
Yeah.
Like videos, and it's you shooting down onto the planet, and literally the moment he got out of the little pod that you shoot down in, he blew up, and his body broke apart like a fucking Lego character. Limbless, headless, like it all disconnected the moment the missile hit him.
So you like, boys, I'm dropping in, and you die immediately. Explode into a pile of guts.
It is a really cool game though. Like I will say this, there are a lot of functions in the game. Like you can do like team reloads where like people can help you faster reload.
Yeah, I saw a little section where you could deploy a sentry turret that you can man. And then you can have one of your teammates help feed you ammo into the turret, like reload the turret as you're firing it. So it takes 2 people to operate this turret. And it just works like that. It's just cool. It's just cool.
It just works.
It just works. It's 16 times the detail. It just works.
It's so cool though. Like genuinely, that's such a cool feature.
I like how people like the game.
Proper co-op.
People like the game so much that they do the thing where they did with Palworld, where they kind of like they're just like lamenting the fact that like other big IPs just didn't do this kind of game. They're like, man, why didn't Star Wars make this kind of game? I would really like a rebel, a shooter game like this where you play as a rebel and you're shooting like droids or something, getting like attacked by swarms of droids.
I saw
I'm like, shut up, nerd.
I didn't actually like that because I was like, well, that's because why would they? That's not Star Wars. Like the Battlefront games were good because they did feel like Star Wars. Like Battlefront 2 had a bad launch, but like a good ending, which I feel like it was the opposite of Battlefront 1. But like I can't see them doing what they do in Helldivers with Battlefront because it just wouldn't.
I think Helldivers gameplay only works if you're fighting like a certain type of enemy that aren't as sentient as like people.
like you can't like do. I don't feel like you.
Although they do have an enemy that is like kind of like that. They have like Terminators in there. I think that is an enemy type.
They do kind of have that in
like robots.
In EDF as well. They have like you got all the big insects, and then like you'll have these things called Hectors, which are just these giant fucking mech robots. And
Yeah.
it's like what fucking alien army? It's just like we're gonna genetically engineer these giant insects, and also we're gonna build a Gundam.
And also mechs because they're cool.
And also the Gundam.
The Gundam.
Nondescript Godzilla fighting.
So hey, expect a Helldivers to stream for me sometime soon.
And maybe expect a EDF 2025 co-op play because we can do a split screen if we want to. If we want to make it feel like.
Yeah. Hey, you know you can invite me anytime. Well, I mean, I will be pretty busy starting next Monday on, because I'm gonna be learning. I'm gonna be in class for a certain thing, and then I'm gonna be working in late May. Yeah, late May is when I get the job for it.
Well, hey, can you imagine that, JD? I'm also going to be very busy next Monday.
Yeah.
No longer streaming ever again. I'll probably try to stream like after work and then like on weekends.
Hey, you know what? An hour a day makes a difference. All you gotta do is hop on for an hour. Just an hour.
Cut it down to like hour-long streams.
And then I might finally be able to catch it since it's not right in the morning. Every time I wake up, I immediately pull up James's stream, set it on my phone. Like, what is he doing right now? He's playing like a dude and he's shooting rockets at some like insect. Okay, cool.
You just hear me screaming.
Yeah. So anyway, should we get back to a little dangerous topic? A little short dangerous topic right before we end. I thought it was pretty fitting because I heard about it.
Let's hear about it.
I heard about it from the from all of the news channels that I watch because it was relating to a content creator, and this content creator reminded me of you. As everything
Will
does.
Smith.
Yeah, Will Smith. So
my favorite YouTuber.
Yeah, and it also has something related to the Too Mad thing too. When you were talking about like the whole like lolly thing that you like to like the drawings of it.
Tate.
Yeah, and it was, so this political streamer, and I know you like watching political streamers / content creators. No, it was not Hassan.
No.
It was someone called Vosh, I think. Vosh?
Oh.
Vlish?
Yeah.
Vish?
Yeah,
Vosh?
dude, let's talk about Vosh.
You know why I heard news about him. You know why I immediately thought of you? Because you kind of look like Vosh.
Firstly, ouch. Secondly, not wrong.
First off, you're both white. Anyway, that's the end of statement. Let's move on. So apparently Vosh has been like, he's getting some drama directed at him because he pulled like an Atrioc where he was alt tabbing to go to a different window, and he accidentally opened up like his folder full of like his hentai folder.
What a fucking creep.
He opened up his hentai folder and he had a bunch of like sus drawings in it. Apparently he's into like horses.
Horse and children.
Horse and well, I think he had a response thing. I know there's some clips of him saying like the wildest things that I can't believe I've never heard anyone else talk about. I must have just missed it. I just wasn't online at that time, I guess. Maybe. It seemed pretty old. But he also never denied it, I think. So
no. He doesn't deny it because he doesn't think it's wrong, because he's like, it's like, you know, it's like looking at
I can't tell if he actually believes in it or if he just says it to be contrarian and make himself feel like he's smarter. Yeah, I can't tell.
It's definitely a he believes it thing,
it's
and it's also
bad.
Like, did you hear how he tried to like defend it?
I did hear how he tried to defend it. He said something like, "Oh, I thought she was just like a short stack or something." Right? Was that the defense? I thought she was just a short stack.
Your Honor.
I think, Your Honor, I think most people, if you show them a picture of a lolly and you show them a picture of a short stack, or if you show them like even anime art of someone of a lolly and a short stack, I think most people could tell the difference. Okay, there's just certain body proportions that are inherent to lollies and body proportions inherent to short stacks. Okay, and first of all, there's nothing wrong with liking short stacks. Second of all, that was not a short stack.
It's like goblins.
Dude, I thought it was like a goblin, you know? It's just like goblins are depicted. I just want to be a horse guy and fuck goblins.
It's the fact that he went, and then he's like got upset his chat didn't understand this fucking weird shit.
Anyway, so it was just so funny the way it happened, because he alt tabs into the folder and then he goes, and then it cuts off right there. Dude, like the clip I watched of him.
Why even have that? Like, just straight up, why?
He just had it open and he forgot about it. Apparently he had his taxes like right next to it, so maybe that's why. He was just doing taxes and he forgot.
His taxes folder.
Yeah, he has his taxes folder like right next to it, so whoops. Oh geez, Scoob, you've caught me.
Oh no.
If it weren't for those meddling kids in my folder. So yeah, everyone's blasting him because of it, and then they pull up all these old clips of him saying something like, it was crazy. It was like what was it? It was like it was him saying like owning child pornography should be like not illegal or something.
Yeah, no, he was saying
that was insane.
Crazy weird shit.
That reminded me of that one level in Ready or Not where you're rating this dude's like a streamer's crack house, and the dude's like a pedophile or something. He's got like a dungeon. Anyway, that was insane. There's like multiple clips of him saying that too, and I know they're from like different streams because he's playing different games. So I can't believe he's brought it up more than once or like multiple times.
We live in a real world, and I think about that sometimes. Like that's a real fucking thing.
Yeah. Anyway, though, they showed him like his like Twitter. I think, they showed his like X profile when we were talking about him too, and he's got a bunch of stuff labeled on his bio.
You get that terminology right when you're talking about Fox.
Is he gay? Just completely out of context.
Clue. I have no clue.
He says he's gay, but I can't tell if that's just him making a joke or not. Like he's ironically gay.
I don't know. I've never heard of Vosh till this incident, but like, fucking Christ, what a crazy person.
Yeah, but like, apparently he's a political streamer. He streams like political stuff.
Yeah, I know he's a liberal, like to a T, a liberal.
He's a dirty liberal, like, a libtard, if you will.
He's not a leftist, he's a liberal. And it's like, that's the whole, like, to get it clear of what's what.
Yeah, that's so clear to me now.
God, he's such a fucking creep, though, dude. He's, like, also hyper obsessed with Hassan, is what I learned when I, like, looked into him.
He's hyper obsessive with Hassan?
Yeah, like, he hates Hassan, but, like, in a weird way where it's, like, all he does is make content off him.
Hell yeah. Dude, if I could make a bunch of fat stacks just shitting on Hassan, man, I'd be on it all day. I don't even know who Hassan is. I shit on him and make money, like, easy. And then Hassan will look at it and be like, who the hell is this guy? I don't know.
You're like, Hassan, that sounds foreign enough.
Hassan sounds like a foreign guy to me. Don't belong in my country.
You were a bad guy in one of them Call of Duties, weren't you?
You were a bad guy right here. I knew dang dude named Hassan back in my Call of Duty days. You know what I did to him? I triple killed him.
Triple tap.
You ain't never get no revenge tokens on me, I tell you what.
Revenge tokens. Oh, dude, no, but like he has like 30 something videos and they're all like 40 minutes long and shit, like just for Hassan.
Cool.
Like that. Again, it was like I knew nothing about him, but then when looking into him, I'm like, oh my god, he talks about
the least
so
insane
much.
Hassan head.
Yeah, I'm like, it's literally no. I think in the Hassan video where like I found out about the situation because like I found out like he was talking about Vosh. I'm like, who's that? So I looked him up. I found all this, and I come back to the video. He's like, I think somebody in his chat made a joke. They were like the least insane Hasanabi head.
I think Vosh said something like those clips were taken out of context too. The ones about him talking about the child thing.
Bees in this game?
I don't even know what kind of context it would be in, other than Him saying like, "Oh, I heard this guy say this." Then he says the statement, and I don't agree with it after the clip ends. But I don't think that's the context of it. So anyway, weird guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
very
the most well-adjusted liberal. So let's just.
By the way, Jay, there are bees in this game.
Bees?
I've gotten to the bee level.
Those are technically insects. So.
Yeah, they are, but I don't have a gun to shoot them. I have a machine gun that shoots everywhere but where I'm pointing, and a grenade launcher, and they are up in the air.
Just hit them with a grenade. Boom.
The grenades don't go very high.
Well, that'll be it then from this episode. We've run out of time, unless you want to say something right at the end, James.
The Magnus Protocol, it's a new podcast I'm listening to. I think I might have brought it up last time. I can't remember, but it's a sequel / new story. It's a sequel because it's using the same premise, kind of, but it's a new story from the people that made the Magnus archives. This is the Magnus Protocol. Yeah, you've heard of them?
Well, I mean, I've heard of you talking about it at the very end of the previous episode also.
You've heard of them?
Yeah, bro.
The new episode came out. It was really good. They introduced a new main character, as well as I think our first major villain within the story, which is very cool because it's a very neat setup, and it doesn't feel like they're like any of the villains that we had met in the previous show. So I'm very interested to see what happens with them. I think that supposing we haven't because it's an audio medium, we kind of got to take the details of how they describe characters and whatnot. And the new villain, I think, is like they wear spikes all over their body and have like needles in them and stuff. And I think they're supposed to be like a kind of a take on because I'm trying to remember what the Magnus Archives fears are, because the fears are what create these entities called the avatars. The avatars are just embodiments of them within people, so they can do like certain things.
They're thought forms. They're tulpas.
Yeah, they're thought police.
They're stands.
Yeah, actually not far off. And I'm trying to. I think it might be something of like the fear of. So I think it's either going to be a fear of diseases or being like poked with needles. You know.
Mine is a fear of VTubers.
A fear of fears. Nice.
A fear of fear.
I think they do discuss that in the show. I can't remember. There are 200 episodes, so I'm not going to go back through all of it. But they were on episode 6, and they just introduced a new character who I think everybody's saying was from the original show. So I think this might be a way to lead it back into it. But it's very good so far. It was a really good episode.
Nice. Well, if you guys are interested, you can go check out Magnus Archives and sorry, what was that?
The new show is called Magnus Protocol.
Got it. You can go check out the Callisto Protocol, and that'll be it from us. We do this every Sunday. Every Sunday, the Crapshoot episodes come out. You have to subscribe to see them, and also smash that like button.
And don't forget to subscribe.
And also subscribe.
But also don't forget to smash that like button.
Yeah, while you're subscribing, just do it. Do it at the same time. And that's it from me. James, bring us out.
So, the making...